How we doing, Hickey, on halftime?
10 seconds and we're on a kickoff.
Kirk, the other thing here to look at is body language. Watch what the runner does. He tries to step out of this. So as a line guy, you should be reading the intent of what the runner's trying to do when it's just a man-on-man tackle. So he's trying to get out of this. And then he gets hit, and then he loses the ball. So, it's just a fumble.
I read the same thing. I didn't think of it as in terms of body language. I like that. I said that he's still fighting for yards, that there's an intent to try to get additional yardage, which means if he would have fallen forward, we would have given him that yardage. But instead of falling forward, he lost the ball. So I like language.
And we're at halftime.
Okay, very good. All right, we're going to let me do a quick introduction here, and Scott, I don't mind if you repeat some of the things that you've already said here. Thank you all. I think I didn't put a reminder out tonight. I probably should have around 5 o'clock. This is Kirk Russell, and I've got Scott Novak. I don't believe I've seen Terrence on or Ussery, but do me a favor. If you've got your microphone on, please mute it. Then if you get a chance and you see somebody's sound coming through, go ahead and mute them for me. Scott Novak, NFL official, worked the Broncos game yesterday. We all get excited when we get to see Scott on TV, and he has graciously offered to join us at halftime tonight. Some of us were fortunate enough to work with Scott back at the high school level, and we've enjoyed watching his successes through the college ranks and NFL college championship games. Scott, we're starting with this play that was sent out in a bulletin this week to the membership, and the result of the poll showed that 2-1 out of about 80 votes said that this was a forward progress stopped and not a fumble. And your initial assessment on this play was a different answer. Tell us more about what you see here.
Well, I've got fumble all the way, and really when you're talking about a progress, try to look at either a man-on-man that's controlled driving backwards, or 2 or 3 on 1. Driving or stalling the runner or driving him backwards. So when this runner gets hit initially, he's trying to back himself out of this. So he's trying to back out. Boom! Right there, the ball. He gets hit by the second defender, and the ball's out. So he's got to hold on to the ball. So shame on him for go. But Kurt Bauer brought up. Are we in good position? I think we're in good position here. But you're looking at it back as the line of scrimmage official here. But really, what you need to do is just watch. Read the runner on this. He's trying to back out of this. If he gets hit again and loses that ball, just rule fumble. Just make it that simple. And I can say simple. This is a tough play. I think even in our game in replay, we rule fumble here. It's going to, the only way we can kill this is if we rule forward progress. But we're not going to rule progress on this because, again, he's trying to back out of this. So when he's trying to get out of this, even though he's trying to step backwards, that's not enough to rule forward progress. He's still trying to gain yard. He's still trying to make a play. So he's trying to make a play. Yes, sir.
Yes. Do you feel the forward progress rule applies at all levels from where you're at and where we're at?
Absolutely. It shouldn't. Yeah, Chuck. Good question. It shouldn't change whether it's Friday night football or Monday night football. To be honest with you, it's all the same. We just have to look at it. So read the runner here. Look at what he's doing. He's still trying to move. Granted, he's going backwards. He could get out of that somehow, but then he gets hit. And it's a fumble. So he's just got to hold on to that ball.
One of the things we talk a lot about is, was the runner tackled by a single player or multiple players and wrapped up, and if he gave up. And the striking difference here is that, as you indicated, he's backing in to gain more yardage. He certainly wasn't wrapped up, and he did not give up. And so right. I would like to give him the benefit of the doubt if he gains more yards, and in so doing, lost the football.
Right.
If he breaks free here, we're going to let this go, right?
I would hope so, and that's would be the crime here. And trust me, we've all been there to where we think the guy's down. I think the quarterback's being sacked, and the next thing you know, he runs out of it. It's like, oh shit. So let these plays play themselves out. That kid's still trying to make a play, albeit it's not a natural running motion trying to go forward. He's trying to back out of this. The kid hits him low. He doesn't have control of his legs. The tackler's on his knees. I mean, we can break this apart on film, but when you see this one time live in a game like this, he's definitely not wrapped up. He's still going. Boom, the ball's out. It's a fault.
Okay, I'm going to shift to the next play. While I do so, those of you that have images on your right of people, you can go down to the lower left corner in those 3 vertical dots and then select change layout and then pick spotlight. That way your screen will be just filled with the huddle image. I'm going to jump to another set of plays. Good stuff, guys. Thank you for everybody's contribution here. All right, Scott, we're going to shift to some plays that maybe are right in your wheelhouse with quarterback action. And some of these are pass fumble type questions. This one I think is unique in that he never did pass the ball or never did fumble, but I'd like to, sorry, let me get back to that. I'd like to talk about maybe some what ifs, and this play allows that. Let me loop this clip. So we got white team quarterback rolls to the right.
So he's still alive right there. He's done. So I put that ball at the 2-yard line.
All right, let me take it back to that sideline view. Let me slow it down. So we've got flushed out of the pocket here. Does not throw the ball.
Doesn't throw, so we're good here. This initial hit, once you go through this one, he comes out of this. There's not a wrap there, so we're good there if he were to make a play. Now, 92, this is the man-on-man control that we talk about, especially with the quarterback. Nothing good can happen here. So once he gets wrapped up and he's driven back like that 2 yards, or that probably 4 yards before that first contact's broken, put that ball at the 2-yard line. So he's not down. He's controlled right there. That's enough for control. That's the start of control. And once it goes back 4 yards, then just give him forward progress on that and put the ball at the 2.
We spend a fair bit of time talking about mechanics, and Broward talked mechanics a little bit earlier. We would love to have this white hat planted on that goal line. I think if he just starts there and stays there through this play, he's probably going to be better off. He does end up getting there. I don't know what exactly they ruled on this. He doesn't seem overly convincing in his observation of what happened in the end zone.
What's everybody's thoughts on this play?
I agree with you. 2-yard line. This is old school film. Knickers, short stripes. We're going to go with the 2 here.
Had to throw in the knickers.
You forgot to say spot builds too.
Yeah, that's my bad. I apologize.
Spot builds, baby.
So, Scott, tell me what you're going to do after you've processed this and you've got this down at the 2. What's your mechanic to come up and sell this, and where are you? What are you looking at? What's your body movement?
Well, see, and that's the thing. Our mechanics are going to be a little bit different because I'm not going to get a progress spot on this. I'm going to stay with the quarterback. And the line of scrimmage officials will have the forward progress spot. So I want to stay back with the quarterback. So I know you initially said stay on the goal line. In the 5-man system, that if that's where you all need to be, that's where you need to be. But I definitely don't want to be in front of the quarterback. I want to be behind because I'm not going to take the spot. Hopefully my line of scrimmage people will have that. But in the 5-man system, if the referee is responsible for the spot here, then just go up to the 2-yard line. You guys are running a 40-second play clock now, right?
Right.
Yes.
Okay,
yes.
So get to the 2-yard line, hold your hand up. You've killed the play. And if you need to point right there.
Now, a lot of times we'll talk.
And if you have the luxury of having. Go ahead.
I was going to say, a lot of times mechanically we'll talk about when is the spot important. Obviously, all spots are important. Some are more significantly important than others. We talk about when there's a sack, unless it's a safety, and that's what really you've got to define in your body language as a white hat at our level. Convince everybody looking at it that there's no doubt this is not a safety, and you've got him ruled at the 2. But the thing that we talk about is if this is on the 3 or the 1 or the 4, there's a team that's ecstatic that they've just shut down the offense and pushed them back 15 yards or however far back he ended up. So know when the spot is important.
Yeah.
Inside the 5.
Inside the 5. Yep.
Yeah, and especially the way this play plays itself out, the quarterback's eventually tackled in the end zone. So you've got to convince everybody, I do not have a safety here. So you've got to sell that spot at the 2. Because if you have any indecision at all, I mean, now you may just get ramrodded into somehow making this a safety when it really shouldn't.
All right, this play is going to be a little bit distant, so it's a little bit harder to see, but I'm going to back it up here and kind of describe what you've got. We've got the white team on offense, white hat here. I'm going to play it through slow and tell you what's happening. Right here, we've got the ball knocked out of the quarterback's hands. I don't think there should be any debate about whether this is fumble or not. I shouldn't say that. Help me debate whether it should or should not in that situation. He's turning his body to get flushed out the other side. His arm gets hit. Ball comes out.
Fumble.
It's a fumble.
It's a fumble all day long. Even if he's throwing it, this is not a forward pass.
All day long.
Never give this guy the benefit of the doubt that he threw it away because, I mean, the only thing you can have there's intentional grounding. There's no way with his back to the line of scrimmage that he's going to throw a pass.
No way.
The ball's out. Ball's out.
Yeah, I think the emphasis and the reason I want to show this is we all, at least here, those that are talking collectively agree that this was not a progress stop issue, even though at this point right here, he's turned his back to the defense. That's not enough to give him a progress spot and no fumble. I don't think anybody in the crowd would buy that we had progress stopped on that play.
You know, one of the things that Scott mentioned was look at the action of the player. What quarterback is going to run after his own incomplete pass?
Good point.
Absolutely. Great
point.
Yeah, the best thing, and Kurt just said it, let these plays play themselves out. If you have any doubt at all, just read the player's reaction. Sometimes they'll help you out.
Correct.
All right, moving on. Let's see what we got here. This is a championship game. Damian Savolt, white hat here. I love the conversation about body language on this one. Watch this quarterback. He's going to roll left. That quarterback's convinced he threw an incomplete pass. Now, I believe his arm came forward. The tough part, and I'm sure you all are going to have a hard time seeing on your screen, what this looks like if you were to take it frame by frame to see where that ball goes and if it came out forward at all. So one of the things, Scott, I would love to hear from you as this thing plays over and over. What are your pre-snap thoughts? Maybe some of your routine, and then maybe some situational. Does anything come off the top of your head, whether it's related to a play like this or just in general? What's your skill in pre-snap? Did I lose Scott? Scott, you still there? All right, Brower, you fill in. What does Scott think about on pre-snap?
Yeah, here's how Scott thinks. No, it's you just talk about as we're setting up in a regular scrimmage play, Kirk?
Yeah, just some of the things that go through your mind right before the snap, right, other than the routine counting and admiring your umpire, those kind of things.
Looks like Scott just rejoined. He must have logged off and logged back on.
Okay, sorry, guys. My first impression on this is, as a referee, your quarterback goes left, start getting after him. You've got to create an angle here to see whether this is forward or backwards. I mean, he's walking. I'm not that good. I can't make a call like that from that far. And if you honestly feel like he's throwing that ball or he has thrown the ball forward, is that enough for intentional grounding?
It's a good question. You got to factor that in. If
I mean, I would. I mean, I don't know what your rules are. Does the ball have to get to the line? You got to have a receiver in the area.
we have nothing to do with the line.
No rule to get to the line, but
Receiver in the area is required.
The closest kid to him is number 57.
Right. Yeah, I'm flagging this.
So if you are going to make this incomplete, I would make that intentional grounding. I can't tell based on this camera angle whether that ball actually came out. It's a little grainy.
Right.
If you're ever in doubt as a referee, rule fumble. I'm just telling you, rule fumble versus incomplete.
Really?
Yeah, absolutely. If you're in doubt,
Okay.
if you have any doubt, always think fumble versus an incomplete pass.
Scott, do you have any?
No, I apologize for jumping in. You would rule potential turnover over incompletion.
If I have a question. Now,
Okay.
just the first time I looked at this, I've got a forward pass, but I've got intentional grounding because just in my mind, he's not throwing this ball. This ends up hitting, a couple of defenders, and he's got maybe a receiver coming in the area, but I don't know. He could just as easily throw this ball out of bounds.
Right.
Who's he trying to throw the ball to?
No, he's throwing to nobody. I agree.
Yeah. So
Are there any that he's trying
wait, I'm sorry. You're going to rule fumble over intentional grounding?
Yeah, I'm just saying on not necessarily this play, but if I've got a close play that's a potential pass fumble, and I know Kurt knows exactly what I'm talking about because he's seen these 1,000 times. I had one yesterday, where the quarterback gets, just like that. If you have any doubt, God, was that forward or was that a fumble? Just rule fumble because you'll be right more times than you are wrong.
Okay. Thank you.
Can I help here, Beltran, with a question?
Yeah, I'm just asking on this play here. Any thoughts that he's attempting to throw this ball to one of those two receivers, either one at the end of the end zone or the one near the goal line, and the ball is actually being blocked by that player that's closest to him?
Sure. Now, and Kenny, that's a great question. If that's the case, and a defender knocks it down or bats it, then you give him the benefit of the doubt that if the defender wouldn't have knocked it down or whatever, that ball maybe would have gotten close to a receiver. But this, I don't like this play. I mean, I don't like the referee's mechanics. It's impossible to get this right from where we're at.
One of the things I've always said is the referee can tell intent so well compared to anybody else in that stadium. When you're trailing a quarterback, and you can tell when he's throwing the ball away and when he's not. And I think in this case, even though there might have been some receivers down there, I think what Novak is recognizing, this guy has no chance to complete a pass. He's got 3 white guys in his grill when he tries to throw the ball. There's an intent to get rid of this ball and not lose yardage.
So, Scott, you said you don't like the referee's mechanics. Help us out here. What would you like to see him do here?
Well, I mean,
don't hold back. Just lay it out.
Okay, so go slow. If you can slow frame this for me, Kirk, if you can slow frame it, okay. So right here, we're good. Now, okay, stop. That guy's you got to start moving right now as a referee. And not necessarily, and get an angle, and maybe he's on the 20. He walks down the 20. Well, this kid's giving ground. I should be at least in the middle of the field right now, somewhere about the 22, 23 yard line, trying to look at what's happening. I mean, I'm not good enough to just walk after this and look, because the referee's going to end up being about 25 yards away from this.
Right.
And granted, I know we don't get great looks when we're on the move, but you've got to figure out a way to officiate this play and give yourself a chance to get it right. I don't think by what we did on this play, we gave ourselves a.
You see where we're going here. Quarterback's flushed out.
It's a fumble.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Unless you think the ground causes the fumble here, that ball's out. Do you guys have that? If he's got control of the ball in his arm and then he goes down and his forearm hits and then the ball comes out, I would make that down by contact. But again, man on man here, to me it looks like no body parts down and the ball's out.
I would agree.
Now we say the ground cannot cause the fumble. I believe he puts that ball down and it pops out. The tough part is the angle the referee has on what that ball's doing.
Kurt, as an umpire, would you be looking at this at all to help?
Yeah, I might be able to see that. Sure.
Okay.
Sure.
I'm sorry, guys. I'm just seeing him. He's being driven back 2 or maybe even 3 full yards. I got his progress stopped at the whatever that is 9-yard line. Nobody else is seeing that.
Thank you, Brower, because that's the reason this conversation is here. We want to talk about progress first, and so let's put that question on the table. Is his progress stopped here? Brower, what if he turns and breaks through and gains another 15 yards to the 20-yard line?
Well, I just know if I was that white hat right there, and while that ball's down and Blue is scooping it, I am whistle, whistle, point, point, whistle, whistle, point. And I've just convinced 7,000 people that I knew what the hell I'm doing, and we got 2nd down and 17.
I've seen you do it. You do it well.
Even if I'm wrong,
Scott, what are your thoughts on progress here? Did we lose
I can see progress on this. It's what.
No.
But to Kurt's point, just whatever you rule, just be definitive about it.
Right.
Be definitive about it.
I mean, I wanted to look good in the film room on Monday too, and I think I've got a pretty good argument that he was driven backwards for a significant piece before that ball came out.
This is as much for entertainment as anything. Let me do a what if. In this case, the offensive lineman catches this ball. What if the D lineman, number 5, there caught it instead of the offensive lineman?
It's just a pass.
Right.
So does anybody have forward progress stopped?
No.
No.
And it's a backwards pass, and there's nothing legal about any backward pass. Lineman can catch it. Any last minute thoughts, Scott, for us? I want to tell you thank you again for joining us.
Thank you, Scott.
No, I'm just glad you guys are playing again. So it's nice to see that you're out there again.
Amen.
But be safe, guys. Be safe. Be safe.
Thanks, Scott.
Thanks, Scott. Have a good night.